Race number 5 is the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. Group 1 over the 1,200 metres. It's also the first leg of the 6-up as well. Headed by iVictory. Champion sprinter from last year, Christophe Lemaire, will take the ride. Mr. Stunning, last year's winner, beating DB Pin. Hot King Prawn, though, the star act so far this season, Joe Moreira, will be in the saddle. Fine Needle for Japan. Sedan Slot for the UK, David Ellsworth and Gerard Mosse. Limbs Cruiser over from Singapore, and down to Little Giant. Zach Burton makes the switch from iVictory to Little Giant. He's got a lot to find on the ratings though, Brett.
9 Hong Kong gallopers, 3 from overseas. Good to slow. Hot King Prawn, although drawn wide, should have pace to cross them. You would think Mr. Stunning will try and match his engine early, and iVictory can kick through. I think DB Pin's a chance of trying to kick through in front of iVictory as well. Wonder where Little Giant ends up. Singapore's galloper, Limbs Cruiser, it's been suggested that he wants the rail, so they'll probably hunt through the inside if they can. Good to slow possibly on the speed map. Don't think they'll overdo things unless there's a surprise.
Here's Mr. Stunning. He looks good. He's ready to defend his crown. Mr. Stunning, he's had a good preparation leading into it, and his track record suggests he's going very well at the moment. As is this horse, Beat the Clock. He's going nicely. It was a good run from him last time. You can see the hold that they've got on him as he comes down, and he's primed and ready to go as well. So John Size has got some good chances in this particular race, and Beat the Clock, one of them. And here is the Prawn. I thought it would show Hot King Prawn as well. He's come up really short in the market at this stage, but look, he's done everything right this season, and he's unbeaten, so he looks very, very well.
I think in that speed map, Andrew, I think Beat the Clock is a real interesting runner. There is a chance he could go forward. And Fine Needle, Paul, looks
Fine
good
Needle,
too.
I thought it will show forward in this one because we've got Fine Needle as well. The Japanese horse was worth showing. There's only 3, as you said, overseas runners. I think Fine Needle's the best of the 3.
I think comes back a better horse too than his last appearance here.
Yeah, quite possibly, and a Sprinter Stakes winner as well. We'll come back to that in a second. This is the first leg of the 6-up. 2.2 goes into the pool, to an estimated dividend in the region of $6 million. Well worth a play. We'll start off though with last year's winner, Mr. Stunning, and his jockey, Sha Tin.
Yes, really happy how he's going. Horse is doing very well. His last trial was pretty good, and you know, I think his preparation this whole season has been going good for this coming race. So we're really looking forward for a race.
Looking at those 2 runs that he's had, he looks like he's improved from that first run to his second run, and he did have things go wrong in his second run. From second run to third run on Sunday, is there still improvement? Is he going to be 100% on the big day?
Yes, of course, his first run he was not fully tuned up, and last run, like you mentioned, we ran in trouble around the turn, cost us about 1.5 lengths, and what was good that he quickened up and went to fetch Hot King Prawn, but it was too late. With a weight difference also now, I think with him improving, I think he goes into the race with a massive chance.
All right, that's Mr. Stunning. He's £5 better off with Hot King Prawn for that beating last time out. He's been back at the trials as well, Mr. Stunning, along with iVictory, who doesn't seem to be the same horse he was last year, and DB Penny's second up.
He is, and he'll be improved for the run, and he'll be improved with a good barrier draw. Of course, he really tested Mr. Stunning in this race last year. Look, Mr. Stunning for me has had the perfect prep, and I will be tipping him. The more I look at that speed map, the more I think maybe Beat the Clock drawn underneath Mr. Stunning may take the option to charge forward and try and get outside of Hot King Prawn, and that may make Mr. Stunning have to work potentially to get outside of Hot King Prawn again. And that could make things very interesting for Mr. Stunning. But I believe he's had a faultless preparation, gets obviously a pull in the weights now coming into this race compared to his previous one.
Yeah, and I like him. I think we're going to get a price with him too, like a reasonable price with Hot King Prawn will come up reasonably short here in Hong Kong, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a nice dividend.
It's fair to say there's not a great deal between half a dozen of them here in Hong Kong.
All right, well, what about the overseas raiders then? Fine Needle. This is the Sprinters Stakes, and as he swings in, he's a pretty decent winner. Yeah,
I like this horse up till about Thursday at about 11:30 when the barrier draws came out. Unfortunately for him, he's drawn wide, and that's going to sort of make it a lot harder for Fine Needle. But he's a Group 1 winner. He's a really nice horse. We know these Japanese horses, when they come here, they can go well. One thing that he has done, he has been here once before.
And he was competitive behind iVictory and Co. He's obviously got to improve, and the suggestions are that he has. Looking at the form guide, that suggests the same. But I'm like Paul, Gate 12 was a real unlucky draw for them, I think.
All right, so the question seems to be, who's the best of the overseas raiders? Fine Needle probably is, but Lim's Cruiser deserves his place in the field.
He does. He's drawn near the rail, which the connections are happy about. They would love it to rain, I think, before the start of the day and just soften up the track a little bit. He does like to get his toe in, but he's a Group 1 winner in Singapore. It's great to have him here. They've obviously sent some good ones here in the past, and they've had some go pretty close to winning on the big day too, like Rocket Man. He's going to need a few things to go right on the day, but Hugh Bowman in the saddle, good barrier. If it rains, interesting.
Yeah, I think the rain is the key for him, and if it does get wet, that'll bring him into it. But it obviously has to step up from what he's been doing in Singapore. But he's travelled as well here as Australia.
Yeah, I think the rain, if it comes, would be a diminishing margin between him and the Hong Kong sprinters, both directions.
All right.
So rain is what they would want. If they don't get it, I think he'll be competitive.
All right, so dance a lot for David Elson. I don't think he'll be disgraced, but he'll really want some pace on. If there's a hot tempo, let's give him something to run at.
Yeah, well, if they draw wider out, like we spoke about, beat the clock, if he goes forward and all of a sudden there is more tempo injected, then that'll suit him because, you know, they were umming and ahhing over the mile as opposed to the 12. So 12 off the back of a hot tempo to run at would be good.
All right, Hot King Prawn odds on, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to take him on with Mr. Stunning. I think Mr. Stunning's had a really good preparation coming to this, and as the song goes, here comes Sha Tin. I've got him on top to beat the clock. He should get a nice run, as Brett said. Little Giant is the enigma, the one we don't know about. He's run some really strong sectionals, but he hasn't been in this class before. But he'll be a good price, so I think he's a good each-way bet. And a Hot King Prawn in there for fourth. He's done nothing wrong this season. So 2, 4, 12 and 5. I'm happy to take the 2 to win. I'm not going to make him the best.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think he's had a faultless preparation. He's the winner last year. I'll tip him as well. Hot King Prawn's done very little wrong. He's got an outstanding record. If he cops a little bit more pressure on the speed, then that's going to test him to another level. Whether that happens or not is questionable. Beat the clock, I think, potentially might roll a little bit closer. And Fine Needle's really going well at the moment. I wanted to include him. 2, 5, 4 and 6. It sort of looks straightforward on paper, potentially. But racing can be a funny game sometimes.
It certainly can. Beat the Clock I'd have been more tempted with a better draw. The question for me was Mr. Stunning. His rating doesn't change. It hasn't done for a year. No. Hot King Prawns is still going that way. So
that's right.
How much he's still got left in the tank.
Exactly. And then if there is more pressure, then things change a little, don't they?
All right. That's the Longines Hong Kong Sprints. Mr. Stunning for me.